Imagine the most powerful empire the world had ever seen. An empire that had conquered Egypt, crushed Carthage, and made kings kneel at its feet. And now picture that same empire being told that a horse, a simple four-legged animal that ate hay and slept in a stable, was about to become one of its highest officials. Not as a joke, not as a test, but as a serious, deliberate act of power by the one man on earth who had the authority to make it happen. His name was Gaius Julius Caesar Augustus Germanicus, but history remembers him by a single, chilling word: Caligula. Born into the most famous family in Rome, the great-nephew of the divine Augustus himself, Caligula arrived in this world already wrapped in legend. His father Germanicus was the most beloved general Rome had ever produced. A man so admired that when he died under suspicious circumstances, the entire empire went into mourning so deep that temples were stoned, magistrates were attacked in the streets, and Romans wept as though the sun itself had gone dark. Caligula grew up in military camps, raised among soldiers who adored his father, and the legions gave him his nickname, Caligula, meaning little boot, for the tiny soldier's sandals he wore as a child. It was an adorable nickname for a child who would grow into one of the most terrifying rulers the ancient world ever produced. When Emperor Tiberius died in 37 AD and Caligula rose to the throne at just 24 years old, Rome exploded with joy. The people flooded the streets, sacrificed animals by the hundreds of thousands, celebrated for days, because they genuinely believed, that the Golden Age had finally arrived. Within 6 months, something broke. Historians debate whether it was a severe illness that damaged his mind, whether it was the trauma of growing up watching his family be systematically destroyed by Tiberius, or whether the absolute, unchallenged power of ruling the known world simply peeled away whatever restraint had existed inside him. Whatever the cause, the man who emerged from that illness was not the same man who had entered it. He began executing people for entertainment, forcing fathers to watch their sons die before dining with him as though nothing had happened. He declared himself a living god, appearing in public dressed as Jupiter, Neptune, and even the goddess Diana, demanding that senators and generals bow before him not as their emperor, but as their deity. He reportedly opened a brothel inside the imperial palace staffed by the wives and sisters of Roman senators, men who were forced to smile and say nothing because one wrong word meant death. But of everything Caligula did in his 4 years of absolute madness, nothing captured the essence of his reign more perfectly than what he did with a horse. His horse was named Incitatus, and Caligula loved this animal with a devotion that went far beyond anything Rome considered normal. Incitatus lived in a marble stable, slept on a bed of purple blankets, purple, the color reserved exclusively for emperors and gods, ate oats mixed with golden flakes, drank wine from a golden bucket, and was waited on by a personal staff of servants. Caligula invited Incitatus to his private dinners, seated at the table alongside senators and ambassadors, and guests were expected to converse with the horse as though it were a distinguished colleague. Then came the announcement that stopped Rome cold. Caligula declared that he intended to appoint Incitatus as consul, one of the 2 highest political offices in the entire Roman Republic, a position that men spent their entire lives and fortunes trying to achieve. And the Senate, those proud, ancient, powerful men who believed themselves the guardians of Roman civilization, said nothing. They could not, because saying something meant dying, and so the greatest political body in the ancient world sat in terrified silence while their emperor made plans to elevate a horse above them all. Whether Caligula was making a calculated point that the consulship meant so little under his reign that even a horse could hold it, or whether the madness had consumed him so completely that he genuinely saw no difference, remains one of history's most debated questions. What is not debated is what it revealed about Rome itself, that power, taken to its absolute extreme, does not just corrupt the man who holds it, it corrupts everyone forced to kneel before him.